Hidden WWE Backstage segment. Jacob Fatu's explosive attack on Bron Breakker rocks WWE. What if I told you that one of the most violent, jaw-dropping WWE Backstage moments didn't even make it to TV? Tonight, we uncover the shocking hidden footage of a brutal encounter between Jacob Fatu and Bron Breakker. A confrontation that WWE reportedly tried to keep under wraps. While the live cameras focus on the action inside the ring, chaos erupted backstage as these two absolute monsters collided in a savage fight that left the entire locker room in shock. This was not a storyline. This was not scheduled. This was raw, unfiltered destruction. Jacob Fatu, the Samoan Werewolf, sent a message so loud and clear that has left even the most fearless WWE Superstars shaken. Why did he attack Bron Breakker? How did this unfold so suddenly? And what does this mean for WWE's future? Buckle up, because this is the full story WWE didn't want you to see. The calm before the storm. The night began with Bron Breakker backstage, fired up and ready for his upcoming segment. Bron, known for his explosive intensity and unmatched strength, had been making waves across WWE, even teasing his intention to go after the company's biggest names. But what he didn't know was that someone else had been watching him very closely. Jacob Fatu had been quietly lurking in the shadows of WWE's locker room ever since his shocking debut. His presence alone was enough to send chills down spines. He didn't need words. His reputation spoke volumes. A member of the feared Anoa'i family, Jacob was a force of nature, a man who thrived on chaos and destruction. Earlier that night, Bron was seen cutting a backstage promo with unshakable confidence. Bron Breakker. It doesn't matter who steps up. I'll break them down. Anybody. Anytime. And if Jacob Fatu thinks he's going to make a name off me, he's got another thing coming. Those words may have been his biggest mistake. Unbeknownst to Bron, Jacob Fatu had been listening just around the corner. His eyes, cold and predatory, locked on Bron like a hunter sizing up his prey. No cameras from the live show captured it, but leaked footage later revealed that Jacob slowly cracked his knuckles, whispering under his breath, "Jacob Fatu, you just signed your death warrant." Moments later, Bron finished his interview and began heading toward the locker room. The hallways were eerily quiet, too quiet. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. Then it happened. The explosive attack. As Bron rounded the corner, Jacob Fatu emerged from the shadows like a predator. Without warning, he exploded forward with a vicious superkick that nearly took Bron's head off. The force sent Bron crashing into a stack of production crates, the sound echoing like a thunderclap through the backstage area. Bron staggered, but didn't go down. Furious, he lunged at Fatu, tackling him into a nearby wall. The two powerhouses collided like freight trains, and chaos immediately erupted. This wasn't a fight. This was a war. Two of WWE's most dangerous men, locked in a violent backstage brawl that was as real as it gets. Jacob roared, slamming Bron's head into a steel door before unleashing a barrage of forearms. Bron answered back with a massive spine buster, the impact shaking the floor. Both men refused to back down. They tore through equipment, knocking over lighting rigs and production tables. Sparks literally flew as one monitor exploded after being smashed to the ground. Jacob Fatu, smiling through the carnage, grabbed Bron by the throat and slammed him against the wall. "Jacob Fatu, you're not ready for me, boy." Bron, defiant as ever, spat blood from his mouth and growled, "Bron Breakker, try me." With animalistic fury, Bron tackled Fatu, driving him through a stack of heavy crates. Wood splintered. Security guards finally began rushing to the scene, but it was too late. These two monsters were locked in a fight no one could stop. Fatu dug deep, smashing Bron with a brutal headbutt that dropped him to one knee. Then, in a shocking display of athleticism for a man his size, Jacob climbed onto a production crate, leaped off, and delivered a devastating Samoan splash on a Bron through a table. The impact was catastrophic. Gasps filled the backstage area as officials screamed for help. Jacob stood over Bron, chest heaving, eyes burning with rage. He wasn't done. He grabbed a steel chair and raised it high above his head. But before he could strike, Triple H and a swarm of security finally managed to intervene. Jacob didn't resist. He simply dropped the chair, looked down at Bron Breakker's broken body, and smirked. Then, in a chilling voice, he said, "Jacob Fatu, tell him, I'm just getting started." The segment never aired on live television. WWE officials reportedly decided it was too violent and might overshadow the planned storylines. But within hours, leaked cell phone footage surfaced online, and fans lost their minds. Social media exploded. Hashtags like hashtag Fatu vs. Breakker, hashtag Backstage Carnage, and hashtag Samoan Werewolf began trending worldwide. Bron Breakker was immediately rushed to WWE's medical team for evaluation. Early reports suggested possible bruised ribs and a minor neck strain, but Bron reportedly refused to be sidelined. In fact, according to insiders, he was furious, not just at Fatu, but at WWE management for allowing the attack to happen. Meanwhile, Jacob Fatu remained unapologetic. In a digital exclusive promo released hours later, he stared directly into the camera and said, "Jacob Fatu, this is my yard now. Bron Breakker thought he was a beast. He just met a real monster." WWE management, caught in the middle of this brewing storm, reportedly held an emergency meeting. Triple H addressed the situation during a press conference. "Triple H, we're investigating what happened. But make no mistake, if Bron Breakker is cleared, and if Jacob Fatu wants a fight, we will give it to them." Fans immediately began speculating that this would lead to a massive showdown, possibly at WWE's next premium live event. Backstage sources claim that Bron Breakker has demanded a match with Jacob Fatu, reportedly telling officials, "Bron Breakker, lock us in a cage. No rules, no security, just me and him." Jacob Fatu, of course, welcomed the challenge with a sinister grin. In a backstage interview, he responded, "Jacob Fatu, you want me in a cage? Boy, you just asked for your own funeral." If WWE grants this match, it could very well become one of the most violent showdowns in company history. Two unstoppable forces, one backstage war spilling into the ring. And this time, there will be no hiding it from the cameras. This hidden backstage segment has already gone down as one of the most shocking moments WWE has ever tried to keep secret. Jacob Fatu didn't just attack Bron Breakker. He declared war on him. And Bron? He's not the type to back down. He's hurt, he's angry, and he's ready to fight. What happens when these two finally collide inside a WWE ring? Will Bron Breakker get his revenge? Or will Jacob Fatu finish what he started? One thing is certain. The WWE Universe is about to witness a battle that could redefine what it means to be the most dangerous man in WWE. Thanks for watching, folks. This was one for the history books. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more deep dives into the biggest moments in wrestling. Until next time, keep it locked and keep it wrestling. Stay tuned, because this is only the beginning.